Go on to our next delegation. Dayle, Laing, Secretary, BikeBrampton.
Good morning, Chair Brar, members of council, staff, and the public. I'm pleased to be here today to speak with you about traffic fatalities, trauma, and equity with regarding bike infrastructure in Brampton. Quoting from a recent letter signed by 120 University of Toronto physicians and researchers, they recently stated that road design must prioritize safety over motor vehicle travel times. Most collisions are preventable. Doctors and EMS workers bear witness to physical trauma of serious injured and the emotional trauma of those left behind. Complete streets with protected bike lanes, they added, reduce this risk. It's better to prevent crashes than to treat the victims. The World Health Organization has declared road safety a public health issue, with motor vehicle collisions remaining one of the leading causes of preventable injury and premature deaths worldwide. Brampton signed the Vision Zero strategy in 2018. From 2017 to 2022, there were 169 cyclist collisions reported in Peel. A group called the Advocacy for Respect for Cyclists has traveled here to join BikeBrampton in paying tribute to cyclists who have been killed in car crashes with ghost bikes installed at the crash sites. I'd like you to see the names and faces and circumstances of some of these victims in Brampton. However, I found out this morning that the clerk's office has denied my request for my slide deck. And these photographs, in fact, were all taken from traditional news media where they were published with the permission of the survivors' families. So I will just describe this to you instead. A hit-and-run driver killed Hardeep Pradesh as he cycled to work at 5:50 a.m. He cycled the 200 meters for his bus connection between Brampton and Toronto on Steeles Avenue. A teenager, Simon, was killed by a minivan driver on Chinguacousy. George Cardswell was killed as he cycled Dixie Road to work at 7 a.m. He was hit by two drivers, one after another, just south of Mayfield. Again, this is all on the public record in traditional news media.
Sorry, point of order. So, in just side conversations with my colleagues, we'd like to see the video, especially if it's already published on the news. Yeah. Okay.
Great. Yeah. Okay. Madam Clerk is ready to go.
So on that point of order,
Yeah.
Madam Chair, if the clerk's offices have said no, then I need to understand why we can't just as council then decide to put it on. If the clerk's office is against it, then...
Madam Clerk, for clarification.
Through you, Chair, just for clarification, there is a video that we do have confirmed permission from the gentleman in the video to share it. There's a presentation that we're going to work with the delegate to tidy up some personal information and some personal health information before we can add it to our post agenda. But the video is ready to go, and we do have confirmation from the gentleman in the video that we're able to share it.
Perfect.
So we can share that now if you like.
Through the chair, I've got two more slides that I have to speak to first before we come to that video. And as for the personal information, I'll be able to explain who Amber is, who's standing here beside me shortly.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the clarification, Madam.
Thank you. Colin Fisher, George Cardswell was killed as he cycled Dixie Road to work at 7 a.m. He was hit by two drivers, one after another, just south of Mayfield. Colin Fisher was cycling home around midnight after helping his girlfriend care for her sick dog. He was killed by a hit-and-run pickup driver. 4 years later, his sister still visits his ghost bike daily on Beauvard between Heritage and Mississauga Road. Prakash Mariupol was cycling to a medical appointment at 9:30 a.m. He was killed by an impaired hit-and-run driver on Humber West. There's a wide multi-use path south of where he was killed. Prakash had only just brought his wife and infant to Canada. These are shocking stories. And this September, a 33-year-old woman was struck and hit by a hit-and-run SUV on Steeles as she crossed the 410 North ramp. Despite a search for information, we don't know her name, we don't know if she recovered, or we don't know if she succumbed to her critical head injuries.
Dayle?
Yes.
Madam Clerk?
Through you, Chair. We're going to jump ahead to the video so we don't
I'm
run out
at
of
there right
time.
now.
But we need to be careful about sharing personal health information. That was included on the slides that we can't share. So we do have the video queued up and ready to go.
Yes.
Just so we don't run out of time before your video is done.
These are my last two slides, and the one with the video is the second one, and the last one deals with Amber here.
But no personal health information.
Okay, Amber can speak to that.
I have no issue.
Okay, at that point, I would say don't bother playing the video because it's more important that we hear from Amber. Thank you. Through the chair. I met Amber right after the Diwali Glow ride. When we completed the ride, we arrived at different spokes, and Amber was there with her son. And perhaps Amber would like to say a couple of words.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us. I'm here because my son was hit and had a hit and run. He was riding his bike to school at 8:30 in the morning. The driver decides to turn right without looking. He waited, he stopped a little, and then he still decides to drive over. He's still dealing with a concussion. Today is his first day to go back to school for 2 periods. He's an athlete, but he can't go.
It's okay. It's okay. At different spokes, thank you, Amber. At different spokes, there were 40 cyclists, and we asked for a hands-up poll, and 8 of the 40 have been hit in car crashes. That's 20%. Vulnerable road users have a right to safety on roads. Thank you. Okay, let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dayle, and thank you, Amber. Seeing no questions, we'll move on to our next delegation. Thank you so much for your delegation.